Hey guys, what's up? It's JDawgs here, and we are back for another episode of Feed the Beast Monster here on the Spiritcraft FTB server. And you can see probably we're still getting some lag, but it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. Before it was below 10. Now we're at least mid-teens most of the time. There are still like laggy spots that we hit that are in the base here, but I even hit those whenever I'm not recording, so it's just the base getting laggy from all the stuff that I've been doing, the quarries and everything. Speaking of quarries, I just fortuned like 54 diamond blocks, so we've got a bunch more diamonds now. Not a ton, but we're doing alright. I've got more of this stuff going through here. We got coal ore that I've been running through, getting powder and coal, and occasionally some diamonds from that. So we've got more diamonds there too. One of the things that I want to point out, yeah, you can see there's still a little bit of lag. One of the things I want to point out is that I went up here and I got all the trees down, so we're done with that from last time. And we didn't get any other new saplings while I was going through there, so you guys got to see basically everything I did. That's just about dead, so I'm going to move it to where it can start recharging for the MFE. And these will wear down. They've still got some power in them. But for the most part, they're already drained, it looks like, yeah. So they're not probably not going to do any more. But they do pretty good for the producing honeycombs and everything like that when we need it. So I'm going to go ahead and flip those off. So we, oh, maybe not. There's honeycombs coming through that one, so we'll leave them for a few. But you might be able to notice that it's a little bit smoother for moving around here and stuff. Not quite as bad. When we get down here, it does get pretty choppy. And that's just because I've got some laggy spots down here somewhere. But I got a couple things I want to work on today. First, I'm going to show you guys some of the work I've been doing in the Newbie Room. So down here we've got pretty much everything the same. I've got this going over here. I'm making up some stuff. You can see here I've been making pulsating chipsets. That's in order to make these genetics processors, which we're going to be needing more of pretty soon. We're getting ready to make the Mutatron, which is one of the things that's still on the list, along with some other stuff. But I found out really fast. I realized why SME had solar panels powering these. This thing, I kid you not, I probably put 2 completely full resonant energy cells to this, which is 50, what is that, 50 million RF, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Boy, my eyes aren't working. Yeah, 50 million RF. 2 of them, so that's 100 million RF that this thing alone has sucked up. And it's only gone through, well, you can see it's at 44 labware left out of the 64 I put in it. So we've gotten 20 bees processed for 100 million RF. And this is all the more liquid DNA that we have so far. So we've got almost 17,000 millibuckets, I think is what that stands for. So it's going kind of slow. It's just a barely little spot right there on the bottom. But I did move down the mutagen drum that we had from before and the mutagen producer. So that's going to be fairly easy to get that running again because we will be using mutagen eventually. I want to get all the things made up that's going to go into this room. But first, we're going to take this here, and I've got some stuff stored. And you can see I've got some blocks that I've kind of laid out that I want to use for in here. And I've got some ideas for how I want to do stuff. So in the corners here, of course, I want to have some blocks. So I'm thinking amaranth is going to kind of go cool with the beehive look. We're not going to focus on the purple for the center, but this outside is a really cool texture, I think. And we're going to do it very similar to the other rooms where we just kind of do like that. Take this one up, bring it down, bring this one down, and kind of like that. And then probably going to bring it this way. Let's see how the sideways look goes. That's actually not bad. Now, I was thinking we might have to go up and down with it. I don't know if we can make this into a square block. Oh, you can! Wow. Okay, so I guess you can pretty much do any kind of block like that. Oh, that's nice to know. Let's go ahead and just make them all up that way. Take these couple out here. We gotta hold shift so that we don't take all of them out. I did not know that was a thing. That is very cool. So now we can actually put these across here, and you see that we're going to get our direction going the same way, but on the top here we're still going to have a pattern. So that's really cool. I did not realize that that happened with even like the natural logs and stuff like that. So that's a really cool addition. I didn't realize. So let's take that across, come over here, take this across, bring that one, and there. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like this look. It's giving it almost like its roots or something going through, but I know it's a beehive, so that's not really a point to. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but the look is coming out really cool. So I'm going to continue on with that. We're going to finish this up real quick. Let's get along the top here. And let's take it over here. We may not have enough to complete down here, actually. Let's take that. Bring it all the way across, because we're just going to frame the entire thing out like we have the other spots. Whoops. A little bit of lag. I'm going to go ahead and bring this one across through here. And we can hear Wish's pigs over there. And take this down right there. Yeah, we're definitely going to need some more for this back half, but we got the front done. And I think we're going to do some other textures for the sides here, so that'll be okay. Let's go ahead and run this as far as we can along the bottom here. Almost made it. Okay, so that's kind of how that's going to look. Going around here, like I said, can I go one more back? We may go, yeah, we may go one more back into here, dig that out, and just put some blocks behind it, and then leave all the pipes, well, most of the pipes natural looking. Of course, this one is kind of still hidden, but that's alright. But I want to leave a lot of these to where they're natural looking. The power here eventually will probably come in from the back, and I'm going to have to switch to solar panels, because this, I don't know if they all use that much power, but this DNA extractor uses so much power. It's not even funny. Actually, let's go over here, take these back up for a second, because I want to finish the one side there I just seen. It did not get completed. Right over here. Yeah, let's finish this up, top and bottom. I don't know if I'm going to have enough for the top and the bottom. Yeah, we will. Okay. Bring it across here. Well, why did it go to that? What? That is not what I said. And why does that look like that now? That's weird. Okay, let's just take those down again. Switch to that. Are you gonna look right? There we go. And we're done. Okay, so we can put this one down, bust it, and it'll go back to normal. Alright. So anyways, that's going to be the basic look for in here. Across the ceiling, I've thought of doing like almost like a white sky look to make it look like there's clouds. But I don't know if I want it like right here, because that's going to be like perfectly even with the rest of this, and you won't be able to see that. So we may have to actually indent the roof like we have the other rooms to take it and have it a better look there. On the floor, you can see I did a little bit of a design with the fir wood. That's why I had the apple wood with me. That turns into... It actually says apple wood planks, but when you put it down, it's fir wood planks, which is kind of weird, because if you look at the icon, it's completely different. So I'm not quite sure why that happened. But that's kind of my idea for the top, maybe. I also had some ideas with the filled honeycomb blocks, but I think we're going to actually save those and go upstairs here. Let's put that back in our inventory, because I also want to work on the bee area up here, because eventually this is going to be squared off also. So let's see, we've got a lot of these honeycomb blocks, not a lot of the hive blocks, but I can get a lot more of those pretty easily. So let's start with honeycomb blocks and just kind of make corner pillars to line this in. And these are not, they don't have anything in them, so if they were to get broken, they'd be okay. But there are a couple that I have that I think I'm going to put in here. that if you bust them, they'll actually release the nether bees, which is kind of cool. I don't know if it'll mess with the rest of these guys, but we'll find out, I'm sure. Okay, so let's see. We can go over here and take this across, I think, through here. And we can alternate maybe with these kind of blocks. So put like 2 of those. Have a center that goes up again. Something like that. I wanted to give it a non-natural look, but it's gonna. I think it's gonna come out to where it's still gonna look kind of natural, or still gonna kind of look where you can't really have a like jumbled up look, I guess you could say, because I don't want it to look normal. Here, let's try this instead. Let's go through and just kind of randomly place a few of these. Like this. And put one there. Okay, let's get flying back here. One there, one there. There. And up there. So then we can go in and we can take some of these other ones, which we've got the honeycomb blocks, we've got filled honeycomb blocks, and we've got these empty honeycomb blocks, which I want to stick a couple of those in there also. Like 2 on this wall. Then kind of put these in there with it, and just kind of bring it around the edge here. Is there a torch in there? Yeah, there's a torch in there. Yeah, that feels a little bit more like random to me, because that's what I'm looking for, I think. Oh, we're caught on something. And I think we're going to definitely need a lot more of these honeycomb blocks when I get ready to do all this. Now, let's see. We got a couple filled. Let's take this guy out and put a filled one. So that one's actually got honeycomb in it. I don't know if it's going to spread to the rest of these. That'll be kind of cool if it does. Let's toss a filled there. And there. One up there. And down. One there. One there. One there. Okay, we got one more we can work with. Maybe like right here? Oh, that actually gave us empty honeycomb. Oh, those can be crafted back into blocks. Okay, I didn't realize that. And we got 3 from that, so you're not really going to get a good return. Let's use up these empty ones. We already have one on this wall. Put one there. Another one there. And our last one can go over there. Okay, so now it's just basically going to be hive blocks and honeycomb blocks. So let's get these down here. We've got our corners worked out. So let's go through again and just kind of sparsely put these throughout. One down there maybe. One over here, there. Skip that spot, I guess. Have another one there. And then start filling that in. I guess we can put another one here. Okay. Start filling that in. And I know we're doing more decorating this time and not really getting to the bees that much. I wanted to work on them some more, but making the machines kind of got in the way and slowed me down. I think that looks alright. I'm not too wild about these hive blocks, but I think they'll be alright eventually once we get everything done. Let's get this filled in the rest of the way. And one more there. Alright, that's not horrible. This one here can... Oh, we have one on the bottom. Okay. So that's not going to be too bad. Of course, we're going to take this second layer out and fill it in. I'm going to have to collect some more of the hive blocks. We're going to have to get more of those going. But let's go ahead and try to work on a few more of these machines real quick. You guys can kind of get an idea of what I'm going to do back up there with the hive blocks. I just kind of want to move around a little bit, get some stuff done, and kind of show you guys what I'm doing. So let's get back in here. I believe we're ready to make the Mutatron. That there. We got 3 of those and 1 of those guys. Oh, we gotta make this thing here, and then we'll have 2 more of those. So let's get that made up. I've got the 2 pistons. We need 3 more of these, or not those. Those kind? Yeah. 1, 2, and 3. So let's toss those in. Toss our pistons in. We should be good to go to make it. Yeah. Alright, so now let's toss that in there, toss that in there. And we should be able to... Yep, there we go. So we got our Mutatron. Another item we need to make is... let's see, we got genetics lab where I'm looking at my list over here. Protein liquefier. Let's make some of the genetic stuff. Genetic transposer is one of the things we need. Okay, so we need another one of those, of course. So let's get in here and see how much of these we can make. 1, 2 more of those it looks like we need. We need another one of those guys. We got that. We need 4 more of these guys again, which I believe is that. Yep. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, this uses a lot of bronze, by the way, if you guys don't know. And we need 1 more of those, which means we need pistons again. That's why I've got the cobble on me. Okay, 1, 2. Toss that. And we got these. There we go. So we got all that. Let's toss everything in, and it should just let us make it now. Boop. No. Did I not put the cogs, do the right cogs? What? No, I made those, didn't I? Tink. No. Cog. Is it named cog? No, it's not cog. Gear. Gear. I could have swore we just made 4 of those. Where did they go? Oh, the power module takes those too. Okay. I forgot about that. Alright, so let's make 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Toss them in there. Now we can make it. There we go. So much stuff to make here. Let's get off of that. We gotta make a genetic sampler. So this guy here. Let's get back in, see what we need. Yeah. So basically all this stuff takes the same kind of resources. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make all this stuff up. We need a Mutatron, a protein liquefier, a genetic transposer, genetic sampler, genetic imprinter, and a genetic replicator, and then the other stuff we have already. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and get all this crafted up so that you guys aren't just watching me constantly craft stuff. I think I'm going to get the room worked on down there a little bit and get some more honeycombs for that place. And I think that's going to be the end of the episode. I've been trying to do these from now on where they're going to be 15 to 20 minutes for most of my episodes, and then occasionally we're going to have one that's longer. From what I understand, people are liking some of the shorter ones, so that's what we're going to shoot for, and I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Leave any comments, suggestions, criticism down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and of course, if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. I put new videos every day of the week, and I'll see you guys next time for another episode of Feed the Beast Monster here on the Spiritcraft Feed the Beast server. Take it easy. Peace out.